Families. Mamma mia. Pizza pie. Oh, I'm already starting to tear up. The tears are coming. That's great. Can you see it? How come one person gets to look at another person's life and then they decide that the way they're living their life isn't up to standards? Oh, heavens no. How come you don't have 400 activities to perform? How come you... I relate to a bear. And it's not just because of the way that their ass jiggles when they run down a hill. No, there are many layers to our relation. Winter is upon us, as it were. Game of Thrones, Daenerys Stormborn, or something. You know nothing, Jon Snow? Yes, winter is coming. Thusly, a sort of hibernation ensues. Now, to be honest, it's not just because it's winter. If I'm being totally frank, I'm constantly hibernating. I'm in a constant state of hibernation. Some people think this is a problem. Some people think that the fact that I haven't left my house in 6 days, give or take, some people think that's a no-no. Some people think that deserves an intervention. Well, that's a funny joke. Family, concerned citizens, haha. I just think that from an outsider's perspective, yeah, maybe it can sound like I'm insane that I haven't left the house in 10 days, give or take. Yeah, sure. Maybe the fact that I haven't let a hairdresser touch me since 2007 might be concerning to some. Sure, the amount of stockpile that I have might be worrisome to people who just don't get what coziness is, to people who just don't understand what it's like to be, hate to say it, a genius. You think I have a problem? You want to give me an intervention? Bring it on, bitch. I will show you how proud I am of the life that I lead, of my bear-like ways, of my hibernation. And you decide for yourself. Do I need an intervention? Please don't actually tell me I need one because my soul can't handle it. So if you do think I need one, I urge you to say nothing. And if you don't think I need one, please God, keep enabling my behavior. Living for a gritty documentary about a shut-in. Grey Gardens Who Trash. Yes, maybe I haven't gotten my hair cut by a hairdresser since 2007. And yes, maybe that's why my hair always looks so disgusting. Yes, maybe I cut it myself with craft scissors that are surprisingly rusty. Here's the true tea. Here's the thing. Okay. Yes, I am a creepy shut-in. And yes, I stay inside a lot and I feel like I do things in a way that some people would think is wrong. And my family is different from me in a lot of ways. I think I come from a family of all really extreme extroverts. They're so, I don't know, outward and gregarious and love being around people all the time and love being super busy. I think that's really cool about them and is part of the reason why I love being around them because it's so different from the way that I live. And I know sometimes when I've described just offhand details about my life, oh yeah, I haven't stepped outside in 17 days, or hey, I haven't spoken to another soul in 180 hours. It's just I know, it's shocking sometimes to some people. And yeah, okay, I'm making it sound extreme and lonely and maybe a bit worrisome, and maybe yes, it is warranted to an intervention. But honestly, to me, it's not. I can feel sometimes when I have an urge to go outside. And the thing is, I'm not scared to go outside. I'm not agoraphobic. I remember at one point, my mom thought I was agoraphobic. Yeah, I've had periods where I need to chew on toothpicks all the time, to try to feel nonchalant in public. But I'm not scared to go outside. I like when I'm outside. I like being in the park. I like spinning around. I like going to my pal's house. I like when I'm outside. I do enjoy it. But my bros, I'm a sleepy bear-like bitch, okay? I only have a certain amount of energy to go around, so I need to conserve it. And the way that I conserve it is I goblin in my home. Oh yes. Yes, I stockpile so if need be, I wouldn't have to leave the house for approximately 400 years. Oh yes, you don't want to see the amount of dish soap I have? Okay. I think sometimes I can feel like my natural inclination for existing is wrong in some way. I remember even feeling like that for so long. I remember being in grade 8 and being like, I can never be totally open and totally myself with anyone because it's wrong in some way, or they're gonna make fun of me. Like, I remember thinking like I do too many weird things, and I'm like too gross, and I'm too creepy, and like my inclinations as a human aren't what they're supposed to be. And because of that, you have to hide parts of yourself all the time. And I know to exist, you do have to hide parts of yourself. I mean, you can't be like in a business meeting with Karen from finance and chew a bunch of gumballs and then spit the gum in her face, because I mean, unequivocally, yes, that is hilarious. Karen might sue you. Everyone knows that Karen is a litigious bitch, and she's, you know, she's got her lawyer in her back pocket, and some say that she's cheating on her husband with him. You can't always be totally uncontained, but you should be able to be totally uncontained sometimes, and with some people, and with yourself, and in your own brain. And I don't think it's healthy to think that things that feel natural to you, I mean, let's not go too far. I mean, I'm not saying if someone has a desire to, say, murder, that's chill. I mean, let's have some common sense, my dudes. If you feel like strangling a hamster, fight that urge, though. I don't think hamster murder is chill at any point. I don't think that it's cool for you to want to bring tiny dinosaurs back to life just so you can put them into a bathtub and give them the first bubble bath with bubblegum scented bubbles, and then throw a plugged in hairdryer into that shit and murder them all. Susan, don't. So there's lines. But if I feel like stockpiling toilet paper and staying inside a lot, and I'm not sad about it, and when I'm with people, I feel good, and when I'm alone, I feel good, there's not something wrong with that. There's just not. And I don't want to feel guilty about something that feels natural to me and that really does make me feel good. If I were to force myself to be around people the amount, say, my family is around people, I don't want to exaggerate, but part of me wouldn't want to be alive. In times when I have not wanted to be alive, I feel like it was a lot easier for me to get caught up in the shoulds, in what I should do and what a normal person would do in this situation. You know, I have to do this thing that my soul really doesn't want to do for whatever reason, even if it's seemingly chill. My soul doesn't want to do it, but I would force myself to do it, and it would just make me feel so much worse. And it felt like that was a cycle of life, is that you just have to keep forcing yourself to do things that seem fine and seem good, like a good person would do that. Like a good person is gonna go to, I don't know, this like obscure relative's family event because it's nice, and you know, you gotta make an appearance. Or the day after your dad dies, you have to go to your stepmom's house and like go through pictures of him. Like there's certain things, that's an extreme example, I don't know why my brain's going there. There's just like these things that you're like, oh, I should do this. This is what a normal person would do, so I have to do it, even though for whatever reason it just doesn't feel right to me. So I did those things, and it made me feel like this was life. It's this like cycle of shoulds, and you just have to do them, and it feels like you don't have a choice, but you do. You do. And it's so liberating to be like, oh wait, there's so much about life that I love. I love staying at home and cutting my own hair, and ordering a Happy Meal, and putting a mask on my face and crying. I don't know, like when you allow yourself to do what feels natural to you, and when you try to stop judging yourself for it and accept it and stop thinking of it like it's wrong or shameful or like you need to hide it, it's like, it's really sweet, and it makes life as a whole feel so much better. My sleep cycle is disgusting, and I often go to sleep when the sun is starting to rise, and then I wake up when the sun is starting to set. And yes, I know that that makes me Robert Pattinson, and yes, I know that that is a lame reference, and I can't stop, but I love Twilight, and I'm not gonna stop. So what if that's just what works for me? And even if other people look at my, some would say, terrifying vampire goblin existence, you know, this creepy, fat, glitter, melted blob just creeping around her apartment, creaking the floor at all hours. crying and talking to herself and not leaving the house for months at a time. But yeah, some people are gonna look at that and say it's not right. Some people are gonna look at that and say that's sad. Sometimes I do feel sad. But I know how it felt when I didn't follow my instincts because I judged them based on what I thought other people would think. And that partly made me want to die. And yes, maybe that is a very, very dramatic thing to say. And it's not just because of that I felt so bleak, but it was partly that. So if accepting myself and not judging myself for what feels right to me makes me enjoy life, then I you know.
Hey Sasha. Hi RuPaul. You know you chose the cowboy? Or are you... Wait, let me...
I ordered McDonald's and I told the delivery person to walk up my stairs and leave the Happy Meal outside of my door and then just leave. Because I am in fact a genius at avoiding all human interaction.
Still really polished and fashion.
Tell me why I'm the smartest person that's ever existed in the history of humanity.
Yes, maybe I avoid human interaction more than most. Yes, maybe my lifestyle could easily seem unsettling to many. And I understand being a goblin shut-in is truly not for everyone. And I understand that for a lot of people, it would probably depress them, you know? And I'm not saying I don't feel depressed sometimes, but I live my life in a way that feels right to me and makes me enjoy life, makes me feel as peaceful as I'm able to, and just enjoy as many moments as I can. Because when I am solitary and get Happy Meals delivered to outside my door so that I don't even have to be seen by a human, and, you know, stockpiling 4 million rolls of toilet paper, and I'm cutting my own hair. All of these things help me feel peaceful and content, and they help me enjoy the moments when I'm around people even more. I love recharging myself by being a lonely goblin and then being around the people that I love and enjoying it and embracing it and giving into it and staying out with my friends until 4 a.m. singing karaoke and playing Dungeons and Dragons and eating pea pods with my pals and going to my brother's fancy pseudo mansion and stealing his peanut butter cookies and listening to the Victorious theme song and singing along with them. And you know what I mean? And like going to weddings and dancing with strangers until the sun rises. Like, me being a lonely goblin makes me able to treasure the moments with other people 1,000 times more. Doesn't annoy me. I enjoy it because I'm recharged by being a lonely, creepy shut-in. And that's why, family, I don't need an intervention. And actually, perhaps you need an intervention for thinking that I need an intervention for actually just being a genius when it comes to being alive. I'm not saying my lifestyle makes sense for everyone, because I'm sure it would bleak many a person out. But there's not one right way. Extrovert isn't more right than introvert. Introvert isn't more right than extrovert. Shut-in isn't more right than clubhound. Clubhound isn't more right than shut-in. I'm following what feels correct to my soul, and truly, that's all a soul can do. Right, Dib Dob?
Right.